A new round of direct talks between the US and Iran have been postponed after Vice President J.D. Vance delayed a planned trip to Switzerland. The White House announced late on Thursday that Vance would not be travelling to the talks and said the logistics had not been simple or predictable. A deadly strain of bird flu sweeping through remote islands near Antarctica has devastated the native wildlife population, killing an estimated 13,000 seal pups, as well as penguins and seabirds, researchers say. Drone surveys conducted by the Australian Antarctic Programme in October and January revealed sobering images of seal pup carcasses littering the greyish volcanic shores of Heard and McDonald Islands. Jared Hodgson, a senior research scientist at the organisation, said.
It was supposed to be a historic day. An American vice president and a senior Iranian political leader in the same place. Something unthinkable for 47 years for what was billed as an in-person signing of the document expected to lead to an end of this war. But there are no delegations in Switzerland, and it's not just the previously planned signing ceremony that is off. The first round of technical talks of the next phase of this process, a critical step in getting to a real peace deal, have been delayed too.
Iran's 2026 World Cup team will lodge a complaint with FIFA, claiming they are being subjected to travel restrictions during the tournament in North America, the Iranian Football Federation spokesperson said on Thursday. Despite having submitted its preparation schedule for the tournament well in advance, Iran's national football team has once again encountered restrictions imposed by the organisers, affecting the implementation of its technical staff's plans, the spokesperson said, according to AFP news agency.
Planned talks in Switzerland between the United States and Iran to discuss the technical terms of their ceasefire deal have been postponed. The Swiss Foreign Ministry confirmed early on Friday that the talks, which were scheduled to take place in Bergenstock, would not go ahead.
Oil prices have begun rising again as an agreement between the United States and Iran hangs in the balance. Brent crude, the international benchmark, rose 0.65% on Friday after falling as much as 0.9% earlier in the day, as traders continued to weigh the practical effect of the US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding on ending their war and reopening the Strait of Hormuz. According to Bloomberg, US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has, in a series of recent meetings, told senior ASML executives he's concerned that one of the Dutch chipmaker's extreme ultraviolet lithography machines, the EUV systems that are the only tools on Earth capable of printing the most advanced semiconductor patterns, may have ended up in China. That would be a major breach of export controls that have barred ASML from selling EUV to China since the first Trump administration. It's a serious claim. Senior administration officials told Bloomberg they have evidence that ASML shipped EUV-related components and transport equipment to China, though they've declined repeatedly to show it to Bloomberg or, apparently, to ASML itself. The company says no such machine exists in China and has never existed there. The Commerce Department didn't respond to Bloomberg's questions about whether it has evidence of an actual EUV system on Chinese soil.
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's universities have been ranked for the first time under a province-wide higher education assessment, with IM Sciences Peshawar securing the top position among 43 institutions, according to the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa University's Ranking 2026. Mansehra ranked second with a relative score of 95.02, while Pak Austria Fachhochschule IST Harapur secured third place with a score of 91.28. SEIS has added a new model to its affordable business and everyday laptop range. The Dawn 7S Ryzen Edition is designed for students, professionals and users who want good performance and practical features without paying a premium price. The laptop runs on AMD's Ryzen AI 5 330 processor based on Zen 5 architecture. It is a 4-core, 8-thread chip with a 15W to 28W TDP.
The Capital Development Authority's CDA property and water billing system has reportedly been hacked, with attackers demanding ransom in bitcoins and threatening to upload the data to the dark web, according to a report by Dawn News. The cyber attack has disrupted CDA's online billing services for the past 3 days, affecting property, conservancy and water charge payments. A CDA Revenue Directorate official told Dawn that the incident occurred during June, a month when a large number of residents typically clear their property taxes and other dues before the close of the financial year. Punjab citizens can now renew their regular driving licence through the Darstack app, as driving licence services under DLIMS have been moved to the Darstack platform. The service allows applicants to apply online, fill in their details, upload documents, generate a PSI, pay the renewal fee, and track the application without unnecessary visits to licensing centres. For people with busy schedules, expired licences or limited access to licensing offices, this online option makes the process much easier.
A total of 18 Pakistani universities have secured places in the QS World University Rankings 2027, with Quaid-i-Azam University, QAU, emerging as the country's highest-ranked institution at joint 381st position globally. The latest QS rankings evaluated 1,504 universities worldwide, highlighting the growing competition in global higher education.
On Thursday, the world breathed a collective sigh of relief when, after much back and forth and several false alarms, US President Donald Trump and Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian signed the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, pausing hostilities between their two countries and entering into a 60-day negotiation period. Meanwhile, netizens of Pakistan, the mediator between the two parties and the third signatory of the MOU, known for their excellent meme game and self-deprecating humour, took to X to poke fun at the bureaucracy and red tapeism that tend to slow down even the smallest of tasks. The Pakistan Stock Exchange PS benchmark KSE 100 index tumbled by over 2,800 points during intraday trade, breaking its 4-day gaining spree. Falling oil prices following the signing states and Iran had fueled optimism, triggering buying interest across multiple sectors. As a result, the KSE 100 index had maintained its recovery, quarter straight recovery, for the 4th straight session on Thursday.
The squawks of macaws, the smell of wet earth after rain, and a swirl of colours will transport visitors from a Los Angeles museum to the heart of the Amazon rainforest, or rather an AI version of it. Data collected from those visitors, their movements, their heartbeats, and even the temperature of their skin, will feed the computer that is creating the immersive display, using a network of sensors, including those on the wrists of ticket holders.
United States Vice President J.D. Vance has delayed his planned trip to Switzerland to start a new round of peace talks with Iran. Following the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding to end the war, the White House has said. Vance earlier defended the agreement between Washington and Tehran amid criticism from US officials and Israel, saying the signing of a mole deal a 60-day negotiating period towards a final deal.
Punjab School Education Department has decided to lift restrictions on teacher transfers during the summer vacations and open a transfer round for selected categories of educators. According to official instructions, teachers awaiting posting after promotion, those in the post-waiting category and applicants seeking mutual transfers will be eligible to participate in the transfer round after June 18.
Karachi's public transport strike will continue on Friday after negotiations between transporters and the Sindh government failed to resolve a dispute over electronic traffic challans. The Karachi Transport Alliance announced the extension of the strike following unsuccessful talks with provincial authorities. Public transport services across the city remained largely suspended on Thursday as transport operators observed a wheel jam strike, disrupting travel for thousands of commuters. New Zealand midfielder Sarpreet Singh hopes his appearance at the World Cup can pave the way for other players of South Asian heritage to reach the game's biggest stage. The 27-year-old became the first Sikh to play at a World Cup when he took the field in New Zealand's 2-2 draw with Iran in Los Angeles in their opener. Switzerland said talks between the United States and Iran on a pact to end the Middle East conflict would not take place on Friday, as US Vice President J.D. Vance dropped plans to travel to Geneva. The talks were set to take place under the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, signed between the US and Iran a day ago, after the two sides agreed on a 14-point accord on Monday. Under the deal, Washington and Tehran have agreed on a framework to end the war, reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and negotiate on key issues within 60 days.
A deadly strain of bird flu sweeping through remote islands near Antarctica has devastated the native wildlife population, killing an estimated 13,000 seal pups as well as penguins and seabirds. Researchers say drone surveys conducted by the Australian Antarctic Programme in October and January revealed sobering images of seal pup carcasses littering the greyish volcanic shores of Heard and McDonald Islands. Jarrod Hodgson, a senior research scientist at the organisation, said
Pro's gameplay loop in spycraft, combat and stealth is incredible.
Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester, won a parliamentary seat on Friday, a vital step towards fulfilling his ambition to replace his party colleague, Keir Starmer. About a quarter of Starmer's lawmakers have urged the Prime Minister to resign since his Labour Party last month suffered the heaviest local election losses of any governing party in more than 3 decades.
FIFA World Cup 2026 co-host Mexico became the first team to reach the knockout rounds with a 1-0 win over South Korea at a delirious Guadalajara stadium on Thursday. Luis Romo's goal just after half-time put Mexico through as Group A winners with a match to go, following a goalkeeping clanger. Labour Mayor Andy Burnham cleared a path to ousting British Prime Minister Keir Starmer after winning a parliamentary seat in Northern England on Friday in what could be the most consequential local election in more than 6 decades. Burnham, the Greater Manchester Mayor nicknamed the King of the North, won the contest in Makerfield in northwest England with 24,927 votes, while the candidate for Nigel Farage's Populist Reform UK party came second with 15,696 votes.
United Nations Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishak Dar has urged the UN Security Council to take notice of India's brazen violations of the Indus Waters Treaty, warning that New Delhi's actions threaten Pakistan's water security, regional stability and international peace. Pakistan's permanent representative to the UN ambassador Azim Iftikhar Ahmad delivered a letter from DPM Dar to the president of the UNSC, Ambassador Leonor Zalabata Torres of Colombia, drawing attention to India's violations of the IWT. Karachi. Public transport largely remained off the city roads on Thursday as transport operators observed a citywide wheel jam strike against electronic traffic challenges, heavy fines and other regulatory measures. They also announced that the suspension of services would continue on Friday after talks with the government representatives ended without a breakthrough.
Washington. President Donald Trump has insisted that the deal he has reached with Iran is superior to the one that President Barack Obama sealed in 2015. While Trump's critics say at this point he has gotten much less and given up much more to Tehran, here is how the two agreements compare.
Karachi. The South Police on Thursday claimed to have arrested 2 suspected drug dealers allegedly affiliated with the network of alleged cocaine dealer Anmol Pinky. A police statement said that acting on a tip-off, the police conducted a raid in Clifton, Block 6, and apprehended 2 bike riders who were involved in online supply of cocaine and ice, crystal meth.
UK politician Andy Burnham could now challenge British Prime Minister Keir Starmer for the leadership of the governing Labour Party, and the country having resoundingly won the election as the Member of Parliament for Makerfield. Thursday's by-election, the equivalent of a special election in the US, was triggered with the sole purpose of providing a path to 10 Downing Street for Burnham, the mayor of Greater Manchester, who is widely seen as the Labour politician best placed to unseat the embattled Prime Minister.